So we are doing Narada Bhakti Sutra. We had completed till Sutra 37 yesterday. So we are going to do from 38 onwards. This is the magic of Satsang.
This episode is brought to you by KG Productions for KrsnaKnows.
What we are doing is called Satsang. So today's topic is called the magic of Satsang. And this is pertaining to how to attain the love divine for the Lord. So we are doing Sutra 38 just now. Primarily, it means pure devotion is gained by the grace of a great soul or through a little of the divine grace. So if you recollect, we had done 4 pointers so far. I will read them out to you so that you get an understanding. First one is renunciation of the objects. That means whatever sense objects that are there, renouncing them was the first point. How to attain devotion, that is. Alright. Second one is giving up of attachment to all the near and dear ones. That means everybody around us. Third one is through continuous tender and loving service to the Lord while performing all kinds of activities which are associated with the Divine Lord, which means doing all kinds of things like puja, path, and so on and so forth. Maybe doing the bhajan, the kirtan. Point number 4 was by hearing and singing the glories of the Lord even while engaged in the activities of this world. While doing any kind of material activity, that is, suppose we have to go to work, so by hearing and singing the glories of the God even while engaged in the activities of this world, while doing all the activities in the world, we have to be engaged in singing the glories of the Lord. That means all kinds of bhajans, kirtans, all those kind of things. So now we come to the 5th point. So if we have to develop devotion to the Lord, what do we have to do? We need the grace of a great soul. That means I need to have someone with me who will show me the path towards the Lord. This is in terms saying he is also a devotee of the Lord. Let me tell you this much. The devotee of Lord is called the Guru. He is also the teacher, the master, whatever you wish to call him. He is the one who is going to lead me on the path towards the divine. So point number 5 is, when we meet these great souls, how does a person meet these great souls? Now there are 2 ways of meeting him. One is when the urge needs gets up in us, that means we feel the urge that I have to know the Lord. At that time, the Divine Lord Himself sends His representative to you. It could also be counted as the point number 6 which we are going to discuss. It's called the grace of God. So how does a person meet the Guru? When there is a tremendous amount of need for us to know the divine. When we have to understand what is all the spiritual about. And this bug which bites us can never be understood, by the way. Why does it happen? It could be from your past life also. That means from the past life you could be carrying on in this life also. And if you are doing that, then you will continue from where you left. And it is the same master that you will be meeting constantly and he will be guiding you on the path. This is how it works. But let us say that if I have to have this Guru in my life, I need to have the grace also. The second part of it is, the Guru finds me. The way in which the Guru finds me is very unique. The crossing of the paths happen. And while you are crossing that path, you meet this divine person. And he starts his knowledge imparting to you. Even in the olden times, it so happened that when Mirabai became ripe for getting the spiritual knowledge, she had to go and meet her Guru. His name was Raidas or Ravidas as they call him. In ancient times, when even if Sri Krishna is born himself, or even if he takes any other birth like Sri Ram, in olden times it was important to go to a Gurukul. There is a very beautiful story where the teacher of the father tells the son, I am not your Guru. This happened in the case of Vishwamitra. Now Vishwamitra, when he is sitting and Sri Ram, who is a young person, says that, can he not be my Guru? Vishwamitra says to Dasharatha that he has a different Guru. And his name is Vasishta Muni. So they have to send an invite to Vasishta Muni. Now this is the first part. Like I said, when the time is right, you will get that person. And that happens by the grace of God. So Vasishta Muni comes over, and naturally Vishwamitra and Vasishta have a certain amount of difference. But Vasishta Muni accepts Sri Ram. And that is how he becomes the Guru of Sri Ram. In case of Sri Krishna and Balram, it is Sandipani. He is supposed to guide them on the path. The question could be, why do such great personas like Sri Ram, who is an avatar, and Sri Krishna, who is the Purna avatar, why does he need a Guru? The need is because when you are provided the body, this is the body, the physical body that you have, along with those other sheaths. When you are given the body by Mother Nature, you already become a little bit ignorant. It's like you are not exposed now to that greatness. So to remove the veils or the coverings of ignorance from the individual, the need for the Guru is expressed. So, in case of Sri Ram or Sri Krishna, you have definitely heard a lot of stories where Sri Ram himself comes one day to say to his Guru that I have overcome Maya. And his Guru says to him, he says, it is not possible. Maya is the covering of the Lord. She is going to put the veil of ignorance on the person. Maya is very unique. It's called the potency of the Lord. Potency means the power of the Lord. And the power of the Lord is always going to cover up everybody, no exceptions to the rule. Even if you come realized from the beginning, that means if you are called Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means you are born realized. You may be born realized, but you are still under the covering. That covering will not go away so easily. So when he goes to his Guru, Sri Ram, when he goes to his Guru and says, I have overcome Maya, his Guru looks at him and says, it's impossible. Please understand one thing. If you come and tell me that I have drunk the entire oceans, I will believe you. If you say I have lifted the entire mountain range of Himalayas, I will believe that also. But if you come and tell me that I have overcome Maya, I am sorry, I am not going to believe you. I am your Guru, that's why I am telling you so. It is impossible to overcome Maya, even if you are Lord Almighty. So you have to learn. So you have to go through the stages of unveiling. I have explained what an unveiling is. But let me explain again. Let us say You are getting a box from Amazon. You don't know the contents of the box. You can try shaking it and seeing, oh, what is the content? You don't know. Now, that box has got boxes within, and each box is covering the next one. It's like they do it passing the parcel, when we were kids, we used to pass the parcel and then you have to remove one layer, then the second. The last one contains the knowledge of what is there inside. Think like that. Even the divinity, when he takes a birth on the earth, he has to be covered. And the coverings are very strong. You cannot even understand how the whole covering works. So the need of the Guru is there. The Guru does the unveiling, removing the veils. It's exactly like an onion. Have you seen an onion? Do you know how the onion, if you keep on removing one layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, now when you remove the last of the layer, okay, where is the onion? You see, when you remove the layer, you are anyway going to shed tears. So while doing the training under a spiritual master, it's a very common phenomenon. You go through terrible times also. It's not that he is going to be very nice to you or kind to you. Most of the time, in the initial stages, when you remove the outer covering, it is simple and easy. It's like a kindergarten. You see, in a kindergarten, in a small, when you have a kid, you will understand all these nurseries or kindergartens or what you call that, Montessori's, worldwide. You see, the teacher will take you in the arms and she can roam around the class also. She's going to be very nice with you. But as you progress to the first standard, the second standard, you think your teacher is going to be nice to you? If she is nice to you, you are going to fail. Okay. I know teachers' pets are there, no doubt about it, but still, you will not be doing well in your life if you keep on, expecting the teacher to pass you. No. You have to go through the terrible times of doing your tests and then your examinations. You see, every time there is a test and an examination, your blood pressure goes up, you get chills, you have all the problems in the world. It's the same. So with the Guru, it is worse than that. I have also been called the Hitler many a times. I have been told, you do not treat them nicely. It is not that, to have a teacher who treats you nicely. There is a saying, and there are the kinds of teachers that are there. There are three kinds of teachers, One teacher who does the spoon feeding. Take. There's another teacher who will say, okay, from today you have to do this. Alright? Tomorrow I'll ask you the questions. That's a mediocre type of a teacher. The first one is useless, absolutely. Okay? One who spoon feeds you is not a good teacher at all. The second one is a mediocre who gives you the lessons and says, okay, you got to do it. I will pass you if you are doing it correctly. Now the third person will literally make your life miserable and keep on harassing you so much that finally you come to the point that, okay, I am trying to learn this. I will learn it. At such point in time, as a student, you want to garrote him. You want to say, what are you doing with my life? You have made me so miserable. But such a teacher are very, very rare in this world. They are literally the taskmasters. They are tyrants, and they better be. If you have to shine, remember, the gold has to go through a lot of heating before it becomes absolutely pure. The diamond has to go through a lot of pain. You see, when I'm explaining the role of a guru is like a person who has found a diamond. You know how the rough cuts are. First and foremost, I don't know whether you actually see the rough cuts, the rocks that come along, okay? How do you know that rock has got something in it? You require a master to actually understand that rock is diamond. You see, in India we have these beautiful places in Rajasthan where we get the marble also. It's called Makarana. The Makarana, whitest of the white marble is there. Now in that, if there is a beautiful murti of Krishna, can you see it in that rock over there? You can't see. It is the master cutter who is going to chisel, and he is going to polish the whole thing so much. Now if you are that thing, if you are that marble, you know how much of pain you have to go through? Think of yourself as the diamond also. You should see the diamond cutting tools. You know the hardest substance on earth is used. You know diamond by itself is the hardest substance on earth. This also you know. Now imagine you are so hard. Think. Okay, I am a duffer. Like that. I am a big duffer. And now I have to be made into a diamond. Just like a rock. And that rock has to be shaped into a diamond. How much of shaping has to be done? An object which is far more brittle, it has to literally cut through. So if any of you have gone to Surat or one of those places and seen those tables on which the cutting is done and the diamond polisher is polishing the diamonds, and he keeps on looking through that small, glass, and he keeps on measuring it. And then he will again point it, and the thing is the grinding wheel is grinding you. He's exactly like that. He is a diamond cutter par excellence. So the Guru is a person who shapes you. I told you in the initial stages that nothing, not much. He says, okay. Another example is like a wild horse. You are like a wild horse. And then you have to be trained. You see, the moment you have to be trained, they put the lasso on the horse. And then let it run. And the horse gallops and keeps on running here and there, thinking that, I got the freedom. No freedom. You see, it's exactly like that. No freedom. It's like this coronavirus thing, You are confined. So in the horse stables, where they train the horses, you are literally confined. You don't know what you are supposed to do also. And then the trainer comes and trains you. And he makes you a winning horse. It is not easy to make a winning horse. Every spiritual master craves, literally, I'm not joking, craves to have that one person who can cross over to the other side. It is the extreme urge or the demand for the master. I have to find this one person. Imagine Ramakrishna Paramahansa every single day would say, have you seen Narendra? Where is he? Has he come? Where is he? Did you find him? Why has he not come? Every day he is asking these questions. And when he comes, he is literally happy. He's in the seventh heaven Narendra has come. And he will feed him, he will do all kinds of things to him. Ramakrishna Paramahansa was one of the greatest teachers of all time. Likewise, he had a fantastic student, a disciple who became a master himself, Swami Vivekananda. Likewise, it is every teacher's, every spiritual master's dream to have somebody who can be that. So, through the grace of great souls, a person can reach the state of the divine love through the grace of this master. And then the next one is through a little of the divine grace. Today's story is going to tell you the sixth one. You have to wait till the end. It's a hook, like they say, no? In marketing they say it's a hook. So you wait for the stories till the end. So the grace of God, how does this grace of God descend on a person? You cannot understand how this grace descends. You may be one of the biggest duffers in this world, I'm telling you this. Nobody knows who you are. You can be just an ignorant fool. And from that ignorant fool, just by the grace of the divine Lord, a person can cross over to the other side. If I ask everybody, which is the one that you want to be, which category do you want to be, everybody will say, can I have the sixth one? It's like the sundae, ice cream sundaes, you get everything, topping with everything, the large one, and then you can have it. Everybody wants the grace of God to fall on them, but it doesn't happen. It happens as a very, very rare occasion. One in a gazillion maybe. Even great spiritual masters from the past, they had to go through the spiritual teachers. People do not have an idea whether the other spiritual masters who are there in this world, like the Buddha, whether he had to go through this or no. Though his entire grounding was done in Sanatan Dharma, but to find the last thing, he had to go somewhere and search for it. Whether you acknowledge the teacher or not is a secondary issue. In case of Buddha, he never acknowledged anybody. I was recently in Amritsar and I was talking to some people and I just casually said, that Guru Nanak had a guru. Everybody over there got angry with me. No, it is not possible. Well, some people acknowledge the guru and some people don't. In today's day and age also, there are lots of spiritual gurus all over India. They give a casual reference sometimes in their life to their spiritual master and they say, oh, this is the one, okay. But otherwise they don't bother about it. Like Buddha or like any other person. Even Jesus is 12 years, nobody knows where he went. It is believed, there are some books which say that he came to India, and if you go to Jagannath Puri has a massive amount of data available, which is again shown to very few people. It is mentioned that a person from the Middle East, whose name was Isa, came to Puri and studied over there for 3 or 4 years. And then he went to Banaras, and then he went further up to the Himalayas. Some people believe, some people don't. It is their own belief. We don't have to bother about it. So now, we will move to the next one. That is Sutra 39. It says, to come in contact with a great soul is indeed extremely difficult. It is impossible to know them fully. Yet it is infallible in its effect. To come in contact with a great soul is indeed extremely difficult. To find the Guru or for the Guru to find this person is itself like 1 in a billion chance. There are so many people in this world who are called Gurus also. And they dish out the Guru mantras as if it is like water. Okay, come take it, come take it, come take it, come take it, come take it. Please understand one thing, a Guru mantra is not for public distribution. A Guru mantra is a Kan mantra. Kan mantra, where the Guru himself gives you the mantra in your ear. And I will prove it to you by the story which I am telling you in the end. The Guru mantra has to be given exclusively to that individual and it is meant for that person only. It cannot be distributed literally to hundreds of people or thousands of people. It can never be given even to 10 people, by the way. If there are more than 1 or 2 people who are given this Guru mantra, there is something desperately wrong. And that is the reason why Ramakrishna Paramahansa himself said, I cannot give anybody the Guru mantra. He is the greatest master of all times. Remember this in the last century. Sai Baba is also one of the greatest sages. He never gave a Guru mantra to anybody. Kabir never gave. None of these great people ever gave any Guru mantra to anybody. Nobody has been given a mantra. So just because a mantra is given doesn't mean that there is a guru there. I can dish out as many as you want, okay? I have a huge load of book which says mantras. Yeah, I can say distribution ceremony. Tomorrow you come, one page for you, one page for you, one page for you. And I can give you some weird kind of an activity. Say, you have to do this, this is the way you got to do it. No. The Guru himself is a rarity in this world. He is one person. He is not a billion persons Guru. No. If there is somebody like that, then he is not a Guru. Let me assure you this much. He is a public teacher. A person who talks in public. A Guru is a guru, remover of darkness. The word G-U-R-U means remover of darkness. He has to personally train you. The training has to be imparted to that individual personally. Hand holding in the initial stages. Later on, kicking the butt around. Yes, like I said, first layer removing is very simple, easy, no crying. Very, very nicely. After that, it is all dhulai. You understand? And when that dhulai starts, dhulai means washing, okay? When that dhulai starts, you cannot stop crying, by the way. In my case, I can tell you this much. I was miserable to the core. Miserable. Many a times I wanted to jump into the river and say, I don't want anything. I had to go through a painful existence for the first 6 years of my life, literally. And it was unimaginable. Every single day I would cry. For what reason? Don't bother asking, because if you have to go through the crying session every day, then you are assured that you have found that guy who is going to be the one who is going to kick you. And it doesn't happen in one day, by the way. It happens over a period of time. Well, when I finally was able to meet, and the one thing that I don't want to do, you see, the gurus are very peculiar. We have our likes and dislikes. I don't want to do this. This is very easy. I can do this. He is going to tell you, you have to do that. First is the destruction of the ego. I tell you, this is the most difficult thing for a person. To leave the ego outside is very difficult, very tough. So he is going to first hammer onto that part, after he starts that, crying session, okay? Not before. Before it's very simple, it's alright. When the real session starts, the first thing he's going to do is going to remove that covering of yours and you're going to feel miserable. So I have been told, do you really enjoy doing this? Of course I enjoy doing this. It's not that I love the misery of the person, but I see them squirming. And when I see them squirming every day and feeling, I want to know, I have to do this, why, what is this, and every day when you feel that heat, and more heat is applied, that is a time you become the diamond. Let me tell you this much, and if the heat is not applied, you are going to be nothing. So this master, to come in contact with a great soul is indeed extremely difficult. It is not easy. He finds you. Come to me, like that. No way is he going to ever tell you, I am the master. No way. He never even calls himself by name. He's a very funny person. Okay, come in. You want, sit in the corner. It's like that. Are you my guru? You think he's going to acknowledge anything for you? But when you see the things tightening around you, you will understand. Because he's the one who is tightening all the bolts from everywhere. Okay? And when he tightens, you come to know immediately, okay, this is the thing. This is the real thing. Like the Coke, this is the real thing. So there was a very funny incident in my world. There was a person who came to me and he came and he asked me some things. He said, you know what, I came to you because I heard about this and about you and I have come to you. I said, very nice to meet you, sir. But I have a guru, I said, very good, sir. Very good. Where is he? Oh, he stays in this place, but he's dead now. I said, oh, so sorry to hear that. But do you go and meet that, him sometime? No, but I visit that place, his samadhi, sometimes I visit. I said, very good, you should visit his samadhi. And never ever leave him, okay? Please, don't you ever leave that guru of yours. You have to catch him. Hold him tight. And it went on for a few years. And like a very genuine, student, he kept on learning from me. For many years it went on. One day it came to a point where he used to call me Guruji. He would say, Guruji, I'm feeling very bad. I am not able to overcome this terrible thing I am going through. I said, your guru went and did sadhana somewhere. Can you go over there to that place and sit over there for a few days? Maybe he will come and whisper something and maybe he'll give you enlightenment or something like that will happen. Go there. So he went. I think after a week or so he came back and he said, I got a very nice feeling, going over there. And he told me something. My guru came and told me, I am there with you, no? Constantly there with you. I don't understand. What does that mean? I said, we will see, he is there with you, means maybe he is around you somewhere, like he is roaming around somewhere. So it went on for a few more years. Finally the bulb lit. Oh, I was searching for something when I am having it in right here and I am roaming all over the world looking for things. Happens. To find that master is extremely tough. It's not easy. Nobody is going to put one sticker over here. I am a spiritual master. Please come to me. Donate generously. I've got a big box over there. Please donate. Those are not spiritual masters. They are nobodies. Alright? So, it is impossible to know them fully. So if you ever try to find out something about them, they will give you the most evasive answers ever. Don't expect them to point you and say, yes, this is it. If you get a guru who is going to tell you this is it, you are a goner. Okay? You think to win the Nobel Prize or to get to that great stuff over there, he is going to say, okay sir, now you do one thing, you take that point and you just go in that direction only over there. Nothing like that. He is going to give you the most evasive answer. If you ask him something, he will say something else completely different. There is a very beautiful, Chan religion. You have heard of Chan? If I say Chan, you will say what? Z-E-N, Zen. Okay, Indians understand Zen. So Zen Buddhism, have you heard of that? Good. So those who have heard of Zen Buddhism, you know what? The Zen masters, the gurus of Zen, they are very funny guys. They will tell you a statement which has absolutely no answers. Okay? And they are called koans. Koan. K-O-A-N. K-O-A-N. Okay? Zen koan. The Zen masters give this funny thing called Zen koans. They will give you a very strange statement and you are supposed to find about it. And then you will sit and you will think about it. What did my master say? Oh, it must mean like this. So if you ask 10 of his disciples, what did he mean by that? Nobody is going to give the correct answer. Everybody says one thing from his perspective. You understand? The Zen koan is exactly like that. And then the master, there are no definitive answers. So, he is impossible to know. He is not even going to say anything. First, if you ask him, who are you? He'll give one vague answer, I am that, I am so and so, like that. And he'll give you some funny answer. Nobody understands. If you ask him, where did you come from? That again is a funny answer. If he says, I came from this place, if the story is so straightforward, then it is a different story. It is never going to be straightforward. And then if you ask him, what is the meaning of these words? I would like to know. If you ask one question every day, alright, and this is something which you should know, he is going to give you one answer one day, second answer another day, third answer, and it goes on. If you ask him for 365 days, the same question, he is going to give you 365 answers. And then you will wonder which one is right. He wants you to replicate himself. You understand? He is the epitome of that particular thing which is called spirituality. And he, the master, wants you to become exactly like him. That is why he behaves like this. There is one movie that I saw. It's called Kill Bill. Now Kill Bill, not the Marathi word, okay? Otherwise you will think Marathi word Kill Bill means all the Kill Bill art and all that. No. Kill Bill. Kill Bill part 1 and part 2. There is one very funny master in that. You go and watch the movie, you will see the way he insults this person left, right and center. Doesn't even allow to eat the food. It's like that. A master is like that. So there are some very nice movies like 36 Chamber of Shaolin. Beautiful movie. There are Indian movies also. I'm just saying because people love all these Hollywood kind of thing. That's why. So, he is impossible to know. And yet, whatever he teaches has an infallible effect on the person. He is literally like brainwashing you. Brainwashing. Understand? He is making you ready for the show. And that is the job of a spiritual master. He is so much into it. One, he will never tell you who he is. Second, don't even try to find out what he is and so on and so forth. Never. Don't bother. Alright? And the difficulty of finding him is there in the beginning. So, we move to Sutra number 40. Nevertheless, by the grace of God alone, great souls are attained. So, what does he mean? You will only find the Guru if the grace of God descends on you. So the sixth point is actually qualifying the fifth one. When the grace of God descends on you, then only you will find him. Otherwise, it is not going to happen. So you got to have the grace of God in you. Did you get it? When the grace of God is there, then only that knock knock will come. The grace of God is a very strange subject. How does it happen? Nobody knows. When does it happen? No idea, sir. Where does it happen? Still nobody knows. Where? When? All the W's, and H also you can. How? No answers. It just happens. It is just that ting, somewhere it happens. And it is because of God's grace that you will find this person. Otherwise, no. He is invisible entity. Never tells the world that this is what it is. And evasive answers are the way in which he teaches. Is exactly like the Zen Con things, So know that. Nevertheless, by the grace of God alone, great souls are attained. Now, who are these great souls? So we move to the next one, which is called Sutra 41, because between God and his devotees, there is no sense of difference. I told you that God himself manifests as a Guru. So when we say the words Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. very simply tells you he is the essence of all the gods that are there. But just like I don't know who is this God, exactly like that, I don't know who is this Guru. That question has to be there. Very strange guy. God is also very strange. You can't meet him, on the roadside somewhere. And even if you meet him, you can't recognize him. Yes, there will be stories like that where I will tell you how this Guru behaves, how God behaves with this devotee of his. He won't even let you know this is what it is. But you got to have the divine vision to know. And you got to have that knowledge to understand the thing. It comes from within you. Now I know. There are no, pointers to it. It dawns within your heart. And from inside the heart, the cry comes out. Now I know. This is the one. Till that point in time, it never happens. So what is he saying? Because between God and his devotees, there is no sense of difference. God himself has taken that form. That is why the devotee of God, the devotee are those masters, the spiritual masters, the sages and the saints. There is no difference. So when you go to Baba's temple, Sai Baba's temple, they say, no, Om Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj ki jai. This is what they say. Sachidananda. Why? Because that is what it is. Truth, consciousness, bliss, as they call it. So he is the ultimate destination. He has taken a form. Nobody knows what caste, creed, religion. Nobody knows that. He is just coming in a form. He takes up that particular body only to tell you certain things. That is why there is no difference between him and them. Sutra 42 says, that alone is to be accomplished, that alone is to be accomplished. That means you better understand that whatever is being said is right. To accomplish that, to know God, to go towards this extreme divine devotion that we are talking about, to reach the state of the ultimate. I have been teaching you in last so many days, what is this? Supreme divine consciousness. Sri Krishna himself. That is the ultimate destination, isn't it? To reach the ultimate destination, this is how it has to be reached. Accomplishment has to come this way. That means whatever that you do in your spiritual path, understand the accomplishment is that alone. Nothing beyond that. Even if you meet your master and just latch on to him, don't bother about, how you have to behave, what you have to do. Don't bother about that. Just be that good devotee to the devotee of the Lord, which is the Supreme Master. It's like you do your follow, follow, like that, follow. In Insta and all those, you are following people. Likewise, you just follow his teachings. He will tell you, sometimes he will say something to you. Sometimes his masters are very funny. They will just give you one word. They will say, this word is there. Go, sit and write this word. And you will wonder, what is he saying? He's just given me one word to write. Don't question him. Don't even bother questioning him. If he has told you to write that word, just write. Okay? When does it work? Why are you bothered? That is his problem, not your problem. Got it? It's the spiritual master has taken charge of you. He will ensure that you reach the point of accomplishment. That is his way of doing it. How he is going to do it, don't even bother asking. As a spiritualist, many a times when people come to me, they come with fixated notions. And the fixated notions are like this. Guruji, I have come to learn Tantra from you. Tantra? Oh my God. So I said, okay, fine, we will learn. Let us get some texts and then we will do. And the first few days it is very nice to see, the texts they are being gulped down like that. And then it starts becoming tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. And when it comes to a point when, Guruji, I can't understand anything in this. I said, oh, so sorry. I thought you understood everything. This is how it has to be done. I didn't know that. You have come to a spiritual master. Don't come and tell him I want to learn this. He is just going to tell you, learn this line. Get out. Learn that much only. Don't bother trying to learn the whole text by heart. Never do that. It is not good. So his way of doing things is very funny, like I told you. So some people have come and they have said, I want to understand Advaita. I want to understand Vedanta. Sir, Vedanta and Advaita, very good, come. It also doesn't work. I teach only devotional path. If you ask me, other paths, not that I can't teach. Yes, I can tell you how to do headstands also. Okay. Yeah, I will tell you. You breathe like a donkey or a monkey also, I will teach you. You want to learn even Tai Chi also, I can teach you that. How to hold a tree. That also. But what is important to you is not, you are not the judge to tell me what is important to you. It's a master, it's a teacher who will tell you, this is what you got to do. Because your taste is understood by him, not the other way around. So this is how it is. Accomplishment has to be done like this. So we have come to the end of Sutra 42. Next time we are going to do slightly different thing. What are the problems in the way is what we are going to do the next time. Now, as usual, we have a story time coming up. So, the story time is something which we have to do. Gandhiji, the father of the nation, he used to love one song. Vaishnava Janato. I'm sure most of you have heard this song. Even Narendra Modi likes this song. The Prime Minister of India. So he also likes this song. You may wonder where this song came from. So this came from a spiritual guru, a master from Gujarat. Narsi Mehta is his name. Now Narsi Mehta, today he is a great sage, recognized and so on and so forth. But it never started like that. He was a young boy from a very, very poor family. As usual, the story is always like this, isn't it? It comes from a poor family. Except for Krishna, I think, except for Krishna and Ram, who came from great families, rich people. The rest of the sages are always poor. They all come from poor families. Qualification, I think. So, he came from a poor family and naturally, he was treated very badly by everybody. Alright? He was staying with his grandmother because his parents died very early in his life. Again, a very common thing, isn't it? Parents die and then the child is left alone, staying with someone. Okay, so his grandparents were there, grandmother. So she was taking care of him. He had an elder brother also. So as they were growing up, simple jobs here and there. So while he was growing up, it so happened that his elder brother got married first and then he got married. In old Gujarat, that is somewhere in 15th, 16th century. This is again 14th, 15th century only. It's not today's day and age because we are talking about devotional path and this is the devotional path. So Narsi Mehta got married and it so happened that his sister-in-law, his brother's wife, she was literally a tyrant. She would, because he was not earning that much, so she was treating him literally like dirt. And every few days she will say something or the other to him. So it went on for quite some time. And he was actually saying, fine, all things will be fine, someday they will be fine, someday they will be fine. But they never were fine. So one day she comes and she insults him left, right and center. He decides at that point in time, I don't want to stay in this house. And he says, I will go to the jungle and I will stay over there. So he goes to the jungles. So in the jungles of Junagadh, Junagadh is in Gujarat by the way, somewhere in the jungles of Junagadh, he finds a Shivji's linga. And he prays very, very hard because he's pouring out his heart to God, Please God, I'm going through these terrible times, blah, 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 all that kind of. And he literally cries for him for 2-3 days. Not eating anything, all that. Shivji comes and stands in front of him. God's grace, you remember? The sixth one? Shivji comes and stands in front of him. Meanwhile, Shivji asks him, what do you want, my dear fellow? He says, you know what? Everybody in Gujarat likes to see Radha Krishna. Can I go and see them? So, full stop, comma over here. So, I'll backtrack, just a flashback. So, flashback to a scene. Remember, he was a child and literally like a duffer. I told you, you have to be a duffer in the first place. So one day it so happens that in his town, one person comes. Alright. And he was such a duffer that he couldn't speak properly also. No words were coming out from his mouth. So this sage who comes to this town, his grandmother gives the sage some food and all that, and then she calls this boy and then she says, Guruji, this person, my grandson, he has never spoken in his life and he is completely a nutcase. Okay, can you just make him say something? So that sage who is there is a benevolent sage. He says, come here boy. Calls him and says, gives him a tap and says, say Radha Krishna. Immediately he starts blurting out, Radha Krishna. So from today, you only say this, okay? So from that day onwards, he was saying it. So now come back to this forward. Shivji is there. Shivji is asking him, what do you want? He says, I want to see Radha Krishna. And he goes to Vrindavan. Shivji takes him to Vrindavan. And there he experiences the beautiful Ras Leela of Radha and Krishna. You may say Radha Krishna story happened millions of years ago, or I don't know, thousands of years ago. How is it that he has experienced? Shivji is there. Remember that, okay? Well, Shivji and his magic, whatever, wand or trishul or whatever. So Narsi Mehta is able to experience Radha and Krishna, and they come and meet him. So naturally the first word which comes to him is, can I get a mantra? So Radha Krishna looks at him and says, are you not saying it for last so many years? That is the Maha Mantra. You think there is some other Maha Mantra? You are saying it. Go. And after that, Shivji brings him back. He goes back home. Now he's completely lost it. And from that day onwards, he becomes a great kirtankar and a poet and writes lot of poems, stories, kirtans in the name of Krishna and Radha. Jayadeva had written some books which, like Gita Govind, exactly like that he also wrote. Narsi Mehta also wrote. There are various other stories that happen. Now his brother, he doesn't believe in all this. He says all this is nonsense. I don't believe in all these things. So one day when these two guys are going somewhere on the path, Narsi Mehta feels very hungry. So he says, Bro, can we eat somewhere? So his brother says, we have to walk, walk quite a lot. There is no time for us to eat. Suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, there is a small house, and in that house, one man comes out from there and looks at these two guys and says, why don't you come and eat some food in my house? So Narsi Mehta immediately says, Krishna is calling me. He is giving me food. His brother is skeptic. He says, what? You're talking. I don't believe in all this. I'm going to extend for 2-3 minutes more. Is it? I hope it's okay. So it so happens that his brother is not willing to eat so much. He doesn't want to. He is very skeptical. Narsi Mehta has his full. Thanks this guy, and they start walking, both of them. After traversing some distance, his brother says, you remember that lota we had? Of what? He says, Narsi Mehta says, you left it in that house, I think. So the brother says, we have to get it. It's very expensive. So let us go back. So they all trudge back again to the same place where they had, had the meal. Narsi Mehta had the meal. And when he comes over there, he sees that there is no house over there. There is no person over there. But just the lota is lying there on the ground. That is a time when the brother says, oh my God, that was Krishna. Why is it that I couldn't meet him? So this is how one of the stories of Narsi Mehta, where they meet Krishna, Krishna feeds him, and he goes on the way. He does not have any money to conduct his daughter's wedding also. Krishna himself arranges for everything. One day, now he belonged to a caste. Now there's a casteism all over India, you know that. So he belonged to a caste, and he was gathering all the low caste people and telling them stories about Krishna, which his caste people do not like. So they go and complain to the king over there, and they say, this fellow, he is doing this kind of a thing. He is desecrating the name of Krishna, blah, 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 all that. So the king comes under the spell of these guys, and he says, you know what? You come here. And he takes him to the temple of Krishna, and he says, you keep on telling all these fellows that, you meet Krishna, you do this, you do the bhajans and all that kind of things. That Krishna's, he's got one garland round his neck. If Krishna comes and garlands you that, I will believe in you. Otherwise, I will not. Narsi Mehta sits in the temple the whole night. The king and everybody goes away. Next morning, the whole crowd again gather. They open the doors. At that point in time, Krishna himself comes from that pedestal, takes his own garland, and puts it around Narsi Mehta. This is a kind of devotion that is required. So I was telling you, I'm going to tell you a story where the Lord himself gives the Kan mantra. So please understand this. Narsi Mehta was a very great sage and a saint, and he is the one who has written that very beautiful verse which Gandhiji also has liked. So I will stop over here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a very good evening. Bye.